how to be great in a relationship begins with having the intention to be great. I know that sounds so simple, but you meet so many people who they jump into a relationship that is so excited to find their girlfriend, their boyfriend, to get married, to have that husband, to that wife, that partner, and they're so excited about it. And then over a period of time, what ends up happening? They get caught in a routine, they get to know the person better, they develop habits and responses and pet peeves, and all of a sudden they stop seeing the magic in the very person they met with and intentionally had this idea to grow this great relationship. We're gonna be amazing together. And people stop putting great intention and great efforts into their relationships, and over a period of time they feel ho-hum and they start to die. And you and I both know that. So the challenge is this: if you want to have a great relationship, your intention must be to be great, to make the other person feel great, and to build a great life together.
Don't let the little things in a relationship ruin the relationship by constantly dwelling on them. And at the same time, don't let the big things ruin the relationship by not communicating them. Make sense? Awesome. So here are some key principles about how to communicate in a relationship. Number one is listen to actually understand versus listening to respond. They're waiting for you to finish your statement just so that they can give their counterpoint. It's annoying for a reason because that person isn't trying to understand you. They're just trying to respond and trying to actually defend their point of view. Not good. So when someone's talking, do your best to really try to understand where they're coming from. It doesn't mean you have to agree with them necessarily, but you have to at least try to put yourself in their situation where they are coming from and actually listen to everything that they're saying. It's going to make the conversation go much more smoothly, and it's also going to allow you to get one step closer to at least a basic understanding of each other's needs.
If you're dealing with somebody who needs to be right, who's complaining, who's argumentative, I like to visualize somebody who's throwing up. When somebody's throwing up, there's a bunch of vomit coming out of their mouth, and you shouldn't stand in front of it. Like, step off to the side. Don't let it get on you. That's their stuff coming out. And as they're spewing, listen, and then ask them this: anything else? And they'll spew some more. Anything else? Because what you said was interesting. They'll spew some more. Then all of a sudden they'll be done. Now that they're done, they actually might be able to listen to you. And so one of the great tactics that you can use, it's a negotiation tactic, is wait for them to spew and then say this. Say, one of the things that you said that I found interesting was X. So repeat something to them about what they just said. And the reason why this is an important thing to do is because psychologically what you've just done is you've just validated this person. You've also shown them that you were listening.
Don't attack, don't reject. So we went through that. How did I hurt you? How did I hurt you? Will you forgive me? And
wow, that is so powerful. And as you say that, I think about all the people who are listening to us right now who have been hurt or hurt other people, and how simple it would be just to...
It is. It's so simple.
Enter the space of peace with that by saying, how did I hurt you?
How did I hurt you? Tell me. And then to listen. It's very hard not to get defensive.
Yeah, not to
and this is why having a therapist, we only met with him twice. He taught us how to do it on our own. We then spent
how
months.
To really listen and not start with your, but what I didn't mean
right.
that, and I can't believe you felt that.
That's
and,
right.
Yeah.
His only job the whole time was like, wait a minute, let her finish. And so it's simple, but it's not easy, and sometimes you need help. And not everyone is safe to do it with. This is an important point. Yeah.
That's not just important, that's essential. You have to be in agreement to do it.
You do.
You can't do it with somebody who is still caring, who still wants to hold on to the anger.
That's right. And I can assure you it doesn't work because I have tried.
At the moment you're about to make the list of all what is wrong with your partner is the very moment where you want to think about all the things that he or she actually does, so that you hold the bigger picture of the good of that person, of what you actually like of that person, of all the things which you actually appreciate about that person, because it is that which will buttress you against the onslaught of negativity. So at the moment you want to start talking about the times when he didn't show up, and the times when you were left waiting, and the times when you felt alone, and the times when you felt misunderstood. But there is also the times when he actually was there for you, and the times when he surprised you, and the times when he took care of you, and all that larger picture of the person is what you want to have available at the very moment when you want to dive deep into the negativity, because it creates a contrast and it holds for you a more complex, a more holistic image of your partner that prevents you from piling up the dirty dishes.
I want you to always use the I statements. So when we get into arguments with the people that we love, or with anybody for that matter, and we start going, well, you do this, and then you raise your voice, and then you do this thing, and da-da-da-da-da-da, you always, always, always want to use I feel. And so when you're arguing, I know it's uncomfortable for you to talk about your feelings. You can say, I am scared to say this because I'm scared you're going to leave. I'm scared to say this because my mom and stepdad never talked about anything, so this is new for me. You can always talk about what's going on for you. And so for you to always anchor in choosing what you're feeling and choosing to say it out loud, it's a way for you to live even more openly and more fully and be more connected to her.
Resist the urge to hurt the other person. Deal with the issue at hand. So those are the three things. Diffuse quickly. Resist the urge to pile on. And third, resist the urge to be cutting with your words and hurt the other person. Now, I'll finish on this. It's not noble once you've hurt someone and made them cry and really done them damage. It's not noble at that point to go, oh my God, I feel bad now, and then go and apologize and say, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to do all that to you. Because at that point, the damage is done. Let me tell you what's really brave and noble. At the point where you're hurting, at the point where you're feeling stubborn, at the point where your pride is damaged, to try and go and diffuse it and deal with it right then. It's the hardest moment to do it, but if you can do it, you're the bravest person in the relationship.
But it's also important to realize when is the time to communicate. So if you're all hot and boiled and you're really angry and you know you're not in a good state for communication, then don't communicate at that point. If you need to cool down, calm down, collect yourself, then maybe go in a different room, go to the bathroom and just try and diffuse a little bit. Calm down, relax a bit, because when you're in a state that is like that, guess what? The words that are gonna come out probably won't be so friendly, nor will they be effective. So you wanna make sure that you can assess what state you're in and then calm yourself and put yourself into a state that is gonna be conducive to proper communication.
So two things are going to happen when you move to curiosity from conflict. You lean in to seek understanding. Either you're going to find out that the person doesn't mean what you thought they meant and you're actually more connected than you originally imagined. Or number two, you're going to find out where the real conflict lies. And when you do that, you can move from the vibration of conflict to solution. Because if there is a real conflict, you can say, well, what would the solution look like to you? And ask your partner to solve it. Ask your partner to share the solution. And then when you come to a solution that you both agree on, the added benefit of you seeking to understand first is at the end you can actually request for them to approach you in a way that feels good to you. And this is the icing on the cake. This is the top of the whole thing.
All people want to be shown is attention. And we forget that. They don't need something from you. Jesse Jackson said a long time ago, people don't want your presence, they want your presence. They don't want your gifts, your stuff. They want you, fully engaged, fully charged, fully connected with them again. If you're going to improve any relationship, all of the improvement will come from a greater degree of attention and presence gifted to that person, to that moment. Learn to be vitally there and present with them again. Learn to have an entire dinner without looking at your phone. Can you do it? Learn to go out for a walk without bringing your phones. Go out and do something together with no phone, no distraction, just the two of you to have a moment together. If you don't think you can do that, then you're addicted and you need to seek digital help, right? It's like, do not tell me that you can't have a conversation. Look, I know you think you're important and we all think we're really important, but let me tell you, there is no person in the world who cannot learn to have a few hours where they can be human again with the people that they love. And that'll be the best gift you can ever give. You want your relationships to be fiery and zesty and spontaneous again? Then those things can only happen in a moment where you're free from other distractions, where you can be with each other.